shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It's a little on the warm side this morning, but we're going to notice a nice drop in humidity and some cooler weather ahead this week. I'll show you coming up.
And breaking news this morning, a serious crash ends with a car on its roof on a Raleigh interstate. What a witness saw moments before that crash.
And this morning, closing arguments will begin in the hush money trial against former President Donald Trump. What you can expect ahead of the jury deliberating Trump's fate. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the Tuesday after the long holiday weekend. We hope you had a wonderful weekend and great to have you with us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. I think a lot of folks will be practicing not Monday. Okay, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday, right.
Let's keep that in mind.
You get credit for Monday.
First work day of the week for a lot of folks as you get back. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center among them. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning. I know that's going to be me all day saying Monday, Monday, Monday. It's hard to get back in the swing. Missing a Monday. Here's a live look at Fenton and Cary. Our skies are mostly clear. It's very pleasant. It's going to be a nice week to get outside. We're going to see the pattern really changing. Instead of seeing the warm, humid thunderstorm activity that we saw over the weekend, we're going to change things up for us. Right now, we still have a southwesterly wind, but today that wind shifts to northwesterly, and that starts to drop our humidity and our temperatures a little bit. Right now, though, it's 71, so it is on the warm side. Skies are clear, so we have the top of the tower lit here in blue. As you're driving by on Western Boulevard, you may see it this morning. 63 in Roxborough. Feels good there, but most places are in the low 70s this morning. And of course, we're looking at a warm afternoon hour by hour. Temperatures will climb into the upper 80s, but will it be nice and dry?
Sounds great, Elizabeth. Thank you. Breaking news, a serious crash early this morning on I-440 in Raleigh ends with a car overturned on the road. Nick Perlin reports from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. He tells us the driver is expected to survive.
Witnesses tell me they saw a car barreling down the hill I'm standing on at around 3 this morning, leading to the car flipping over onto its roof on the interstate behind me. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker, and you can see crews examining the extensive damage to the car that is flipped over. This is on 440 West near Capitol Boulevard. 3 of the 4 lanes were blocked off as crews cleaned up the debris. Witnesses tell me they saw the car going on the wrong side of the road on this exit ramp before flipping over onto the highway. And take a look, you can see tire tracks on the grass leading directly to the crash. We're told a woman was taken to the hospital and is miraculously expected to live. In Raleigh, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Also breaking news this morning, a 17-year-old is hurt after a shooting in Durham. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the Durham Police Department. And Kelsey, that teen is expected to recover.
Jeff, he is. Durham police are here investigating this morning. They're working to make an arrest, but let's get you straight to video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker just to give you a look at the scene. The shooting happened near the intersection of Wabash Street and Moore Place just after 10 o'clock last night. The shooting comes just weeks after Durham's latest crime report was released. We are tracking a trend in juvenile crime. Yesterday's shooting makes at least 16 juveniles shot this year in Durham. In the first 3 months of this year, there were 103 juvenile offenses, according to the report. Throughout 2023, there were about 400, so those numbers are on track to be similar. We'll stay on top of this investigation and be sure to keep you updated. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
We are looking forward to a much calmer day today weather-wise after some wild Memorial Day weather in certain spots. This is what it looked like in Cary, where a viewer tells us at least 5 trees fell in her neighborhood alone, and there were similar scenes throughout the area as heavy rain and winds, they passed through with some high velocity. Some of the worst weather was in Scotland Neck. That's in Halifax County. A tornado warning was issued there Monday afternoon. Neighbors describe a terrifying scene that lasted just seconds when a tree fell and took out some power lines with it.
And it was like a red flashing light, like something just blew up. And I'm like, I screamed and went back in the house and closed the door.
And people reported several trees falling along one street in the town.
This morning, a child is fighting for his life after a terrible crash in Garner. 2 people died, and police charged the driver of another vehicle for driving while impaired. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live this morning from New Rand Road in Garner. And Laura, police say more charges are expected for that driver. Renee, Garner police tell us the man responsible is Jordan Porter. This morning, we are working to learn when his first court appearance will be. Police say he has been charged with DWI after running a red light here off of US 70 and New Rand Road. I want you to take a look at some of this video, which shows you some of the devastation and aftermath after investigators were on the scene there. Police say Porter was traveling west on US 70 highway and ran that red light, striking a Mazda traveling south on New Rand Road. The driver of the Mazda, Tyler Campbell, and a passenger, Susan Campbell, have died because of their injuries. A child was also in that vehicle, and as you said, that child this morning fighting for their life. They're in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We spoke with a woman over the phone who says she nearly missed this crash.
If I'd have been a few seconds earlier pulling out, or, it would have been me. I'm just saying, it would have been, there's just no other way around it.
Garner police say more charges are anticipated in this investigation. We will continue to stay on top of this story today. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Garner.
3 people are hurt after a crash in Carthage. The single car crash happened around 11:30 on NC 2427. The car overturned and landed on its roof. One person was airlifted to the trauma center at UNC. 2 others were taken to a nearby hospital and are expected to survive.
Good morning. I'm Chris Levingood in the WRAL Live Center. We heard Jeff a little bit ago talk about some of the worst effects we saw from yesterday's severe weather in Scotland Neck. There are no outages that we're actually reporting in that area, and there's actually been a significant improvement of outages that we have seen over the last several hours here. Whereas we saw hundreds at one point in Wake County, we're only seeing double digits right now, which is good. Charlotte over to our west have a few there, but nothing too significant. So if you look at the map here, you can clearly see there has been a significant improvement in those outages.
Thank you, Chris. Closing arguments will start today in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial, bringing weeks of testimony to a close. Trump's attorneys will present their closing arguments first, followed by the arguments from prosecutors. Once both sides finish their arguments, the 12 jurors will begin their deliberations. The judge has said he expects this to happen tomorrow. Trump is facing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in an effort to cover up hush money payments made before the 2016 election to porn actress Stormy Daniels.
No one was hurt when a truck slammed into a building in Halifax County. The Scotland Neck Police Department posted these photos to social media. You can see a pickup truck went through the wall of a building at the intersection of Highway 125 and Grasunan Road. Police have not said what caused the crash.
The United Nations Security Council will meet today to talk about Israel's deadly airstrike on a camp for displaced Palestinians in Rafah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the strike went tragically wrong. The Prime Minister says the airstrike will be investigated. A growing list of countries, world leaders, and aid agencies have now condemned the strike. UN Chief Antonio Guterres issued a statement saying there's no safe space in Gaza. French President Emmanuel Macron said he was outraged by the strikes and called for a ceasefire. Germany described the images from the airstrike as unbearable.
Today, Durham teachers and school employees will rally to call for more funding for raises. They plan to march ahead of the public budget hearing at the Durham County Building tonight. They want the county commission to fully support the Durham School Board's request for additional funding. They say the full amount of funding is needed to keep school staff from leaving for other jobs. The public budget hearing gets started at 7 tonight.
We give you this live look out at RDU International Airport, where things are busy as people head home from their Memorial Day weekend trips. The airport says this Memorial Day could be its biggest in history, with as many as 300,000 people expected to travel through RDU since last Thursday. It's nearly a 10% increase of people traveling compared to the 2023 Memorial Day weekend.
The Boston Celtics are on their way to the NBA Finals. They finished off a sweep of the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals with a 105-102 win last night in Game 4. The Celtics will be looking for their 18th NBA championship. They will play the winner of the Western Conference Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and Minnesota Timberwolves. That series will get started a week from Thursday.
It's like a scene out of a horror movie. A man with a knife sneaks up on 4 unsuspecting girls and attacks them.
I think they are terrified that they could just go to a movie on a Saturday night and this could happen. Someone could just walk into a movie theater and do this.
The mother of 3 of the victims who were stabbed in Boston talks about this horrible incident.
Plus, former heavyweight boxer Mike Tyson has a health scare mid-flight. How he's doing this morning after suffering from an ulcer flare-up.
And we're giving this live look in Zebulon this morning. It's going to be a beautiful day out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has the hour-by-hour forecast next.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:43. It's nice and quiet out there this morning. Skies are mostly clear. This is a live look at Goldsboro. We're starting off with a fairly warm day today, but then we'll end up with a nice drop in our humidity and our temperatures as we get through this week. So got some pleasant conditions headed our way. It is 68 in Lewisburg and South Hill. We have a lot of 70s on the map right now. We'll watch for some patchy fog showing up there in Fayetteville. 73 degrees. Tarboro 72, 74 in Goldsboro, and 70 degrees in Rocky Mount. School day forecast. You know, we're getting close to the end of the year now. Getting exciting. Temperatures will be mostly around 70 as kids are headed out the door, but as they're coming home, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s. It'll be dry. You can leave raincoats at home all week long. And again, we'll talk more about our drop in humidity coming up.
A high-stakes visit is underway in Taiwan, where U.S. lawmakers are meeting with the country's new president and pledging weapons to defend against the threat from China. Taiwan is self-governed, but China claims it as part of its territory. China reacted to President Lai Ching-te's swearing in by moving warships and fighter jets close to Taiwan's shores and warned American leaders not to go to Taiwan. Well, this comes as the U.S. is investing billions of dollars to fortify Taiwan's military with the goal of deterring an attack.
Former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson is said to be doing great after suffering a medical scare while on a flight. His representatives say the 57-year-old boxer experienced an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing in L.A. on Sunday. The flare-up made him nauseated and dizzy. Paramedics came on board after the plane landed. And in a statement, Tyson's reps say that he's appreciative to the medical staff that were there to help him. Tyson is currently preparing for a July match against YouTube star Jake Paul.
A man accused of stabbing 6 people in 2 separate attacks in Massachusetts is due in court today. Jared Ravizza is accused of stabbing 4 girls between the ages of 9 and 17 at a movie theater in suburban Boston Saturday. The mother of 3 of the girls stabbed at the theater says they were the only ones in the theater at the time.
My oldest was leaned over to get something. He got her in the back, and then my other daughter in the top chest, and then my last daughter across her arm, laughing the whole time, and then got their friend and then ran off.
Yeah, about an hour after that attack, authorities say Ravizza stabbed a man and a woman at a McDonald's about 25 miles away. All 6 people who were stabbed are expected to recover. Authorities say both stabbings appear to be unprovoked.
Heads up for drivers who use Interstate 440. You'll need to pay close attention this week. At midnight, crews will close the on-ramp from Hillsborough Street onto I-440. That ramp will stay closed for at least 3 months. You'll now have to take Hillsborough to Blue Ridge Road and then Wade Avenue to get onto 440 East. Detour signs are posted.
Singer Lizzo is responding to a South Park episode that used her name for a parody weight loss drug. In the episode, Lizzo is marketed as a medication for people who can't afford Ozempic and Mounjaro. It is shown as a way to just stop caring about how much you weigh. Lizzo posted a social media video showing her reaction after watching the scene. She says she's proud that her message of body positivity got the attention of the South Park creators.
Wild is how Preeti Was describes being nominated for the James Beard Best Chef in the Southeast Award. She was a semifinalist this year and last year, and she's only been in the restaurant game for 2 years. Was is the owner of Chini in downtown Durham, a restaurant that reflects her South Asian roots.
I never intended to open an Indian restaurant, ever. I didn't think I was a good cook of Indian cuisine.
So then what changed for you? Because clearly you are now opening restaurants and in the food industry.
And I started to think about what I missed from India. I thought, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all out and do what I am missing.
Was doesn't consider herself a chef. She describes herself as a home cook who just loves serving people food. On our new news, the surprising backlash her first restaurant experienced after the James Beard nomination.
Looks delicious. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now as we get our Tuesday rolling here. Much quieter now after the last couple days.
Yes, we're out of that severe weather pattern now for at least a week, if maybe not more than that. We take a live look at Raleigh right now. A little bit of cloud cover, but for the most part, we're fairly clear. Temperatures are still warm. We still have a little bit of that mugginess and warmth left, but it is moving on out with the cold front. 71 is the temperature right now in the triangle, and we'll climb into the low 80s by the time we get to lunchtime. Take a look at our weather watcher. This is from yesterday, and you can see there at Yates Mill, that storm coming through. This is from Andy Bruner, so thanks for sending that in. We would love to see what's happening in your backyard or your neighborhood over the next few days, even though we may not have anything severe coming through, which will be great. You know, shoot some pictures of your flowers and send them to us. WRAL.com, search Weather Watchers, and it'll show you how to upload your photos to us. Temperatures are in the 60s near the Virginia line, 63 in Roxborough, 68 South Hill, 72 Southern Pines and Goldsboro, 70 degrees in Rocky Mount. So it's a fairly mild start out there this morning. And we're going to hold it in the upper 80s to around 90 this afternoon, 88 Durham and Raleigh, and 90 in Fayetteville. Lots of sunshine. We'll gradually start to see the humidity dropping today, and the temperatures will follow over the next few days. But right now, we're sitting at 66. That puts us just into the steamy category. We're going to see that number dropping nicely over the next few days. We take a look at our muggy meter for tomorrow. It's going to drop down into the comfy zone, and we'll be there Thursday. Friday, it may be all the way down into the 40s, into refreshing, and then it starts to creep up a little bit by Sunday, starting to get a little bit more humid again. We take a look at our lunch outside. Today, it's still going to be warm. At lunchtime, 83 degrees and a touch humid, not terrible. So I gave it sort of a fair. I think later in the week, we're going to get back to really good for lunch outside. Not terrible today, but just not perfect. We take a look at our temperatures over the next 7 days. Headed down now, looking at some morning lows in the 50s. Look at that one, 54 for Saturday morning. If you're one of those folks who likes to be out early exercising on a Saturday morning, that's going to be glorious. I really thought we were done with mid 50s, but we're getting into June with some of these amazing temperatures. 81 Thursday, 80 on Friday, and the weekend's looking good too. We're just seeing a small chance of a shower or thunderstorm Sunday night into early Monday.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel is opening up about his son's health struggles. His message to the doctors who performed his son's third open heart surgery.
Plus, an NC State grad is keeping the ball rolling. Well, the cheese ball, to be exact here. Her second win at the annual cheese rolling competition in Britain.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
There's no one anywhere near her. She's off again. The cheese is gone. We've got a Union Jack.
More than 1,000 credit cards offer rewards. So if you're not getting what you want out of your card, it may be time to upgrade. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur shows us some of the best perks available.
Where does your family spend the most money? Maybe shopping, groceries, gas? Knowing the answer to that will help you find the very best credit card. Alex Joyce travels for work a lot.
Having a credit card that has travel benefits is really helpful. For example, my American Express card gives me access to the airport lounge, which is pretty sweet.
If you're feeding a family, the American Express Blue Cash Preferred Card gives you 6% cash back annually on up to $6,000 in groceries. The Capital One Walmart Rewards Card pays 5% cash back on Walmart.com orders. It has no annual fee and pays 5% cash back on in-store purchases for the first year when you use your card with Walmart Pay. And for those constantly on the road, consider the ExxonMobil Smart Card. It'll save you 10 to 12 cents per gallon, or the Wells Fargo Autograph Card, which has no annual fees and offers unlimited 3 points for every dollar spent on gas or EV charging.
If you're a Warehouse Club member, those can be great options too.
Costco's Anywhere Visa gives you 4% cash back on gas and charging, and 3% cash back on dining and certain travel. Sam's Club MasterCard does 5% cash back on gas and 3% on restaurants. And if you're a frequent shopper at Carolina Premium Outlets in Smithfield, they're owned by Simon Properties. And Simon has their own American Express card that gets you 5% back on purchases at any of their more than 200 locations nationwide. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
As we said, there's a lot out there. Look for other benefits like cell phone insurance, purchase protection and car rental coverage. Also, remember to double check the perks on the cards you already have that you may not know about.
One NC State alumni we've introduced you to before is making national headlines again. She is now a two-time cheese rolling champ. This is Abby Lamp. She came in first place in one of Britain's most extreme annual cheese rolling events. This is when people roll a cheese down the hill and then, as you can see, basically fling themselves down after it. Whoever gets to the cheese first is the winner. A lot of bouncing.
Goodness. Do you have to find your own cheese ball or cheese wheel or whatever to claim victory? I don't know. She obviously has it down. It looks painful. Batman pulled double duty this week at a children's hospital in Illinois. The Cape Crusader joined forces with Green Lantern to wash windows and entertain kids at the Children's Hospital of Illinois in Peoria. It's a beloved tradition. Twice a year, workers from Clearly Windows of Bloomington dress up as superheroes to clean the hospital's windows. The company is planning to have more superhero cleaning at this hospital this fall.
Late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel is celebrating a major health update for his son. Kimmel posted to Instagram yesterday to share the good news about his 7-year-old son Billy's successful heart valve replacement surgery. Kimmel praised the doctors at Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. Billy was born with congenital heart disease. This is his third open heart surgery. A California beach closed to the public on Memorial Day after a surfer had a close call with a shark. The moment the shark knocked the surfer off his surfboard.
And with breaking news we're following out of Raleigh, an early morning crash leaves a car overturned on the interstate. What we have learned about the condition of that driver.
Plus, a heartfelt message from Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart about his best friend and basketball icon, Bill Walton.